World War II is one of the most important events of the 20th century. The world is still experiencing the effects of the war to this day. This documentary will highlight the important events in the Second World War.
In the year of 1939, Hitler and Germany decided to invade Poland, which started the first part of the war. While Germany was invading Poland, the United Kingdom, known as Britain and France, declared war because Germany had broken the Treaty of Versailles, the treaty that had ended World War I.
Then, in 1940, the Battle of Dunkirk began. The German forces then pushed the British onto this beach. In a quick act to pull their troops off the beach, the British started an Operation Dynamo. In the end, over 3,000 died and only 338,000 troops made it out.
In 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. The attack killed 2,403 Americans. After this tragic incident, the U.S. declared war on both Germany and Japan. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor because they didn't want the United States to interfere with their military attack plan.
In 1942, the African campaign started between the Germans and the British. Then there were multiple fights to claim the city of Tobruk. Soon, the Germans were forced to retreat because of low supplies, and the British claimed Tobruk. While this happened, the worst and most brutal battle began, known as Stalingrad. Almost over 1.2 million soldiers died, and most due to weather, food, and clothing.
In 1943, the leader of the Italian people, Mussolini, was arrested upon leaving a meeting with King Vittorio Emanuele. He was voted out of power by his own Grand Council. The Allies began in the invasion of Sicily. The Americans struck 3 strategic positions. This invasion was called Operation Husky. Over 24,850 Allied troops were killed in this operation.
In 1944, the invasion, known as D-Day, began with 113,000 Allied troops flooding the beaches of Normandy, France. 50,000 men, 148,000 vehicles, and 570,000 tons of supplies had landed on the Normandy shores. This was the first push to free France. Over 425,000 Allied and Axis troops were killed in the Battle of Normandy. After this, the Battle of the Verdun Forest happened. It lasted 5 months, and the U.S. suffered more than 3,400 troop deaths.
In late 1945, Germany finally surrendered when the Russians pushed into Berlin from the east and the Americans and British pushed in from the west, and Hitler ended his life. In early August of 1945, America dropped the first atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, after which Japan surrendered. After this, the war on all fronts and the Pacific theater were over.
The aftermath of World War II was catastrophic and horrible. Overall, 21 million soldiers died during the war, and there were also many civilian casualties. The United States ended up spending $340 billion to help the war effort. About 6 million Jewish, 3 million Russian prisoners of war, 250,000 to 500,000 gypsies, German political opponents unknown, and 1.8 million non-Jewish Polish people were killed in the Holocaust.
Not everything in the aftermath of World War II was bad. Many new things were made after and during the war that benefited the world, like the first jet fighter. German scientist Werner von Braun was the most important person in space travel. If we hadn't captured him, we would not have made it to the moon. He was a major part of the Apollo program and Apollo 11 mission.